This is the Hoff Time Report with Idaho Freedom Foundation President Wayne Hoffman, one of Idaho's most respected, influential public policy voices.
Welcome back to the program. Throughout the country, leftist activists have successfully infiltrated all aspects of government, media, and business with claims America is irredeemably racist, and that such racism is baked into our political and economic systems. These extremists believe that to combat systemic racism, American systems and ideals must be scrutinized and dismantled. This dismantling includes the elimination of private property, capitalism, and the curtailment of freedom of speech. It means replacing our free society with socialism. Now, of course, the radical left and their allies in the media don't portray it this way. They instead rant and rave about diversity and inclusion, believing somewhat accurately that it's hard to argue with such happy-sounding words. But they go on to portray the world as divided into victims and oppressors. You're either one or the other. Oppressors, generally speaking, are the beneficiaries of the system they designed. They are therefore most often white, male, and heterosexual. Victims are everyone else, and your ranking is on a sliding scale of victimhood that depends on your color of skin, your gender, and your sexual orientation. Oppressors can help victims by recognizing their privilege. This is what we call critical race theory. The theory suggests that our trouble emanates from the founding of our country, because it is a country founded to benefit white people. The actual implementation of critical race theory is social justice. Social justice weaponizes this extreme rhetoric by putting into practice those policies that level the playing field with special privileges for some at the expense of others. Instead of treating everyone as equals in a meritocracy where you succeed based on what you're able to and willing to produce, individuals gain special status because politicians and bureaucrats recognize certain groups of people as being protected classes harmed by the class of straight white men. This is happening here in Idaho as much as it is happening in the rest of the country. It's in our pop culture, it's taking over corporate boardrooms, but it's also in our state's K through college education system. The continuation of social justice indoctrination is what's at stake in the debate over Idaho's college and university budget. While Idaho elected officials cannot change Hollywood or change the leadership at Delta or Coca-Cola or Starbucks, Idaho's governor and lawmakers have some power to stop the left's comic book version of American history from being used to brainwash Idaho's children and young adults. Senate Bill 1179, which passed the Senate last month, is the next battleground in that fight. When the legislature returns to Boise on April the 6th, the House of Representatives will decide whether to keep funding social justice or whether to defund it. A vote for Senate Bill 1179 would keep things as is. Indoctrination activities and classes at Boise State University, the University of Idaho, Idaho State University, and Lewis Clark State College would continue as they have for the last few years. The schools will continue to use public money to hold graduation ceremonies based on race and sexual orientation. They'll continue to promote Black Lives Matter. They'll continue to have entire departments and areas of study dedicated to the left's diversity and inclusion ploy. They'll continue to force you to pay for the socialist media mouthpiece, National Public Radio, on the campus of Boise State and Idaho State. Or representatives can choose to reject the bill, choose instead to defund the programs that seek to radicalize young minds into hating our country. That is what must happen. Like it or not, America's future hangs in the balance. And stopping radicalism that's taken over our country's most basic institutions threatens its future. The nation needs Idaho lawmakers to be courageous and to do the right thing. They need to vote to end the use of our universities as breeding centers for socialists and race theory activists. Remember, House members will vote on this bill in a few days. Make sure lawmakers know you want them to preserve the America you know and love. I want you to visit fixidahocolleges.com. Sign the petition and tell lawmakers to vote against Senate Bill 1179. That's fixidahocolleges.com. And thanks for watching.
You've been listening to the Hoff Time Report with Wayne Hoffman. Be sure to visit idahofreedom.org for Wayne's articles, IFF research, and show notes from today's episode.